The following is a review of a comic book and should not be looked at as an endorsement of the creator involved. If you really think that, you should have yourself checked out because you're reading into things that aren't there. Also, the quality of this video is low. If you're expecting higher standards, go check out me at Nerd.Newsstand or something else. What you see is what you get. Thank you and enjoy.
Starcraft here, and continuing with my March of Deathstroke, we're going to get into one that I think is going to go by pretty quick. Either probably if it goes as long as the other one. After Kyle Higgins' run, it was around that time, you had Rob Liefeld back at DC doing some good stuff. Well, arguably, but apparently DC's editorial thought it was good stuff. Redrawing and eventually, for at least one issue, writing the characters he helped make beloved, Hawk and Dove, doing it along with Sterling Gates. It was actually one of the first ones to be canceled, but wanted to still keep him around. It was decided to give him 3 different books afterwards, and one of which he would write and draw, the other ones he would at least plot. And those, the 2 that he would plot would be Grifter and Hawkman. We'll get to that in a moment. But the one he was going to write and draw was of course, Deathstroke. And this, well, let's just say he decides to go a little interesting. As we basically open up right away with him being some of these group of guys in a smoke-filled room saying that Deathstroke must be terminated. Aha! As we then see just a whole lot of monologue as he's standing in a graveyard when someone tries to grab him. I do like how he says, "Caught you! Whatever you are," is what he sings. But yeah, then okay, here's of course the typical Liefeldian weirdness. Throws the guy in a way that makes a little sense. Next thing you know, then all of a sudden he has, he's taking the coat off and his mask gets suddenly on. No hint that he put the mask on or anything. It's just like, whoop! And then he, without the order portion, just his undercoat, which you don't usually see often, he takes out a staff and uses it to fight a bunch of other thugs. Obviously, Liefeld just going for a simple, ambush, attack, and everything. When, turns out he, due to his reputation, he pre-finds some explosives that takes them all out. As a bunch of other guys like, bravo, forgive my show of force here. These men are more for my protection. We pose no further threat to you at this time. You must understand that this exchange was necessary in order to get your full attention. What? And I love how say, I'm 10 seconds away from putting a bullet in this kid's skull unless you explain what the hell and just what the hell you're hoping to walk away with here. Okay, there you do, basically Liefeld's having Slade be like, okay, come on, enough with the bullshit already. And then he's explaining all the different, people there, and basically they're ready to hire him. I do like all this, how they're trying to send him to reacquire an object of great importance. And I love how it's like animal, vegetable, or mineral. And it's an alien nature, an alien who is considered the greatest predator in the entire galaxy. So in other words, that he decided to Liefeld decided to pit the greatest bounty hunter against the greatest predator. And then someone walks over with Slade to give him the rest of his gear for some reason. I think that was supposed to be no, wait. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be Alex from the other, the guy from the other one story, but we're also then introduced to Zealot from Wildstorm. Yeah, basically she was Wildstorm's Wonder Woman equivalent, and basically being told to track down the Czarian. And asked, how did the alien escape? But yeah, basically they're being sent after Lobo. And basically they're just going on all of this big pontificating about Lobo, how dangerous he is, yada yada, saying you've never dealt with someone like him. And basically saying how Lobo arrived many years ago, etc. Was apprehended, kept contained. Until this time, he somehow someone opened up his restraint, and of course he got away. Just geez. Okay, I'll give him this. This action here is very Lobo, just how vicious and everything he was, and it basically ends with saying, "Hold on. First, I'm going to recruit my starship and rendezvous with Sheba. We'll get to her. Then I'm going to activate the World Breaker and blow this miserable rock to bits. But before I end all life on this planet, I have a score to settle with you. Director Maxim," that's the guy we've been seeing earlier, "I'm coming to split your fragging skull wide open, and I'll shred any damn and dirty bastard that stands in my way." Okay, I'll give him this. That does sound like Lobo. And then we get into opening up with Lobo at a diner, just scarfing down some food. And you know what, maybe this might go the whole length, I don't know. Yeah, basically then this guy stupidly walks up to Lobo and saying, basically, "Hey, what the hell?" And gets thrown right on the grill as he just takes the guy's bike in this very, wow, Liefeld, were you phoning it in by this point? Because that's just not very Lobo-esque. Now, of course, it feels like Liefeld was, as he was writing this, coming up with stuff on the fly, because we have no idea who Sheba is. He's the LAST Czarian. We'll get to that. But basically, apparently Slade has a journal now, very Punisher-esque. And then they make their way into the facility, where all of a sudden some Kudarian warriors were down there, and they ready to fight, Slade and Zealot. And basically, hold on. Yeah, basically saying, "Hey, we seek to know where he is. Tell us, and you'll survive." And yeah, it leads to more action, as all those other guys that fought Slade last issue are now helping out as they're all fighting. As I will give them this. The action is not that bad. And I will say this, it's actually a bit more cleaner than Bennett's. But Bennett's because you had the weird digital coloring and everything. Typical Liefeld. Someone getting back in like, ah. Ah. And, well, it's basically like punch, 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 punch. Until then, wait a second. Okay, how'd the girl get there? Just out of the blue, there she is, and he's grabbing her. And then Zealot stabs him. As, they point out, of course, how he destroyed his own planet, which is like great, a genocidal maniac. As Lobo finally makes it into some facility in Colorado where he finds his ship. And he keeps on saying, "Soon, Sheba," whoever the hell Sheba is, they'll be back together. And then we find, now of course those two have still not met up yet. Then we get some weirdo ship that Slade and Zealot are on as they're flying in. As again, we're reintroduced to all the kids and those other heroes, and this very lackluster, set. And we find out who Sheba is. Turns out Lobo's not the LAST Czarian. Yep, turns out he had a girlfriend with him. They both did it together and left. Maybe she was Crush's mom. Doubt it. But that's really kind of stupid if you ask me. As yeah, we also mentioned, give shout out to the Omega Men and everything. Turns out some of them were on Titan. One of the Omega Men, I forget his name, but one of them had a child who's now Tigor. They soon find Lobo's ship. As Lobo's ready to just activate the World Breaker. Really? I don't think the Hulk's down there. As there we go with the traditional Lobo bike. As he basically he's gonna find Sheba with his Space Hog, the Spaz Frag 666. Then all of a sudden, though, without even showing that he knew they were coming, Lobo comes in to attack Deathstroke. And what results in is just, once again, trading blows and talking. Just going on, with a bunch of inner monologue. Again, the action I always give Liefeld this is always interesting if wonky. You have Slade and unload a bunch of bullets into them and then explosives. With those explosives, given the blow we saw earlier, it's very less gory here. It's like so clean. It's like, what the heck? And then, Lobo regenerates and just starts wailing on Slade. Until it looks like, they think the planet's about to blow. As we lead into the final issue of this arc. Yep, a four-parter. Basically, again, opens up. Looks like everything's going to go to hell. Slade's being held in Lobo's grip. As it looks like, as he gets out the simple way. Knees Lobo in the crotch. And then jumps down into the core. Then, apparently, Tigor can turn into a giant version of himself. But then he reverts back to normal. As, reminding that he's the kid's a Telebad as well, as Zealot shows up. And for no reason, so he's able to deck him. Then it turns out Slade had somehow gotten a hold of the spaz frag and slams right into Lobo. Just keeps them flying, driving this thing until they're outside of the ship. I don't remember that thing having that big of a spear on it, and now it looks like it has a skull mount on it. Liefeld always redesigning things in the middle of a run. As he throws an explosive right at the bike. As Lobo takes off and then kaboom. He apparently had a jetpack on him because of course he did, and turns out Tigor was not a man, and it points out how Maxim deceived them all into believing he's a man as his honor. Turns out they were experiments, nothing more. He was ready to betray them all. As Slade basically said, you freed a monster that in turn killed innocent men and women. Turns out, Tigor was the one who released Lobo. As then, they meet up with Maxim. Slade decks him, gives him a big chewing out. Ends with him kissing Zealot. Okay. But then takes off. Takes off in a way you're like, wait, given what he's saying, why is she so shocked? Then he gets in a car and drives off. As it turns out, a company, with Maxim's company, they still have Sheba, who we never see again. Nope, we never see her again. Now, by this point in, Liefeld had left, and, now we got one more, hold on. Yeah, and then we also have the Zero issue. This basically gives us the usual origin of Slade, how he was a military guy and everything, and, oh wow, we might go over the other one. How he met, hold on. Because he has two women in his life, I keep forgetting. Oh, Adeline. He meets Adeline and everything, and it shows how impressive she is, doing some gun fu and everything. It's basically the usual foray as, it was tested on with the experimental stuff, married and Adeline and everything, ready to start a family, and then you have the stuff with, turns out that Slade's earlier outfit, not bringing up that much about Grant though, but again, we're just having, just the typical stuff we knew about. Of course, he's now lost himself, not the man she married, as she storms off and everything. Which doesn't add up, given what we saw in the first, in Kylo Higgins stuff. But some guys still came after for Slade by going to the family. During all this is how he lost his eye by getting shot in the eye. That's not it. Okay, now we do keep this from Higgins. How Slade and Grant, became Deathstroke and Ravager. Things were going well. Though, of course, we know what happened with him next. Then, just keeps, we didn't see, in this case, the slitting of the throat was Jericho. It's questionable if that happened or not. But we end finding out that Adeline is working alongside with Jericho. He was ready to go after his father. That was the last thing that Liefeld did as we go into issue 13. Which is, again, just some big action. Again, we still have the Deathstroke's journal and everything. This one was scripted by Joshua Williamson, who would eventually go on to do The Flash. But yeah, it turns out Zealot got the message and the two had a night together. As we see, the guy that he was fighting earlier shows up. Though we don't see much about what's going on with Zealot yet until this point. Basically, this whole action is just Zealot and Slade dealing with this guy. It's pretty much the entirety of this is. It's just a done-in-one with a lot of action as Slade is just smashing around now and everything. It really doesn't amount to much, but it does look pretty cool with artwork by Eduardo Panizzi, I believe is how you say his name. And then eventually Slade chops the guy's arm up and saying, but the guy said, I'm not here to kill you. Thinking that everyone's always out to get you is your blind spot, but it isn't your time to die yet. This was just a trial run, merely a hello. As it turns out, this was connected to Jericho. Jericho had sent it out as a test, but again, this ends up going nowhere as we lead into what I thought was going to take a long time, but really not. A Hawkman Wanted. A crossover between Hawkman, Deathstroke, and Green Arrow. In the Zero issue, it ends revealing that Czarian, in this unit, in the Nu52, was coming for Carter, wanting to take all the Nth metal, which would be in this one as well. Although in this issue, again, Slade doesn't show up, so I'm not going to talk much about it. Same thing with Green Arrow, just deals with them trying to help with the Nth metal because they're just gathering it all. But then eventually we get into the final proper issue, which would have Slade staking out a place and everything as he's studying it all. And then when he's told, he's already had his own share of ETs. Okay, that was cute. And I love how Slade's like, yeah, no thanks. Then he's all like Ace metal, which is like, that's Nth metal, which you gotta remember is what his suit is made out of. And then a bunch of Thanagarians are coming in for the attack and everything. And basically, again, leads into a whole lot of action, very little story, which is a lot of pontificating. Thinking then that Hawkman's with him, Slade attacks him as they come down. So it sinks. Turns out then he was just getting attention saying, I want to help you. There's a bounty on your head, but I didn't sign on. It turned out that's what he was trying to be signing. He just needs answers. And then, Carter punches him anyway, saying, I don't want your help. So basically, he's trying to say, he doesn't have much of a choice when he sets his mind to it. Basically, he's just trying to bring Carter down so they can actually say something. As basically pointing out how the Nth metal in Slade's suit amplifies it, but he doesn't have the control that Carter does, obviously. It's pointing out that ever since he encountered Lobo and the rest of the ridiculous space debacle, he's suspected the armor was alien that he wore, which might explain why the mask just appeared on him out of nowhere in that first issue. He just wanted confirmation. As then more, missile blows up, sending them flying, and then they're surrounded. Now, focusing then on, in the next issue, it rewinds back in time earlier and focuses on Green Arrow. Then we pick up back again here in Savage Hawkman number 15. As, they, the two were just kicking butt and everything, and basically all this is just taking out that ambush that Deathstroke left us with, until eventually, Slade takes off saying, gives him a trail to find because their high-tech equipment may give him more information about the origin of the Nth metal, which we never follow up on as he takes off. And that's the end of this era of Deathstroke because, well, of course, this all ends, Hawkman ends in Savage Hawkman number 16, but again, that's not important to Slade. But, wow, I went over. But, yeah, Liefeld's one was, if I saw Kyle Higgins was trying too hard, Liefeld was trying even more. It felt like you could already tell that he was sticking around, but by near the end, it was like he didn't even give a damn. Interesting idea, Slade versus Lobo. Seems like a fanfiction-y thing, and it kind of works as well as you'd expect. Sheba was kind of a pointless addition since we never see anything with her again. Although connecting everything together, like with Zealot, was interesting, especially again how Joshua Williams continued on with what Liefeld left for him. Trying to set up the stuff with Jericho does kind of come into play when we get to Justin Jordan's run next time, but for the most part, it was a nice experiment to try and boost it, but it's clear that the days were numbered already. As yeah, the next six issues would be the last ones, and that it would be so truncated that they would have to put some tie-in stuff into other books to complete the story. I am not kidding on that one. So again, it wasn't horrible for our Liefeld standard, but compared to Kyle Higgins and Justin Jordan stuff, and any of the other stuff we have coming forward, it's probably the weakest of everything. But again, I wouldn't say it's absolute shit, just if you just go into it as a typical Liefeld stuff. But again, the two issues afterward with Joshua Williamson were interesting enough and kind of redeemed the first four issues. The first four issues and the 0 issue. So, yeah. So tune in tomorrow as I go over Justin Jordan's run. And I'll catch you guys later.